All right, let's dive right in. Today we are hacking the algorithm. We're going to figure out how to stop shouting into the social media void and actually start building a real audience. You know, one that genuinely engages with your stuff. So let's get into it.
You know the feeling, right? You spend all this time crafting what you think is the perfect post, you hit publish, and then nothing. Just crickets. It is, without a doubt, one of the biggest frustrations for anyone trying to build something online. You can't help but wonder, is anyone out there? Does the algorithm just have it out for me?
Well, here's the thing. That feeling, it's not just in your head. The data absolutely backs it up. If you look back to, say, 2015, a post on a Facebook business page could reach a huge chunk of its followers, organically. But today, whew, that average organic reach has fallen off a cliff. We're talking down to just a few percent. So no, you're not imagining it. It really has gotten that much harder to be seen.
So, to try and fight this decline, a lot of us turn to these common tricks. But honestly, they're myths. Buying fake followers, that's just a vanity number. It actually hurts you because it tells the algorithm that your real audience couldn't care less. Using a hashtag like #coffee, your post is gone, buried under millions of others in seconds. And don't get me started on the whole follow for follow game or just posting something and then disappearing. These are shortcuts that lead to a dead end.
And this gets us to the most crucial point of this entire explainer. It is so easy to blame the algorithm, but the algorithm isn't your enemy. It's just a tool designed to do one thing: show people more of what they already like. So the real problem, most of the time, isn't the algorithm. It's the strategy. Or, well, the lack of one. And the good news? That is something you have 100% control over.
So that brings us to section 1. This is the foundation for everything else. Strategy before tactics. Before you waste one more second thinking about what to post, you have to get crystal clear on who you're talking to. You've got to find your people.
You've probably heard this quote before, but man, it has never been more true than it is right now on social media. When you try to make content that appeals to everybody, you end up making content that truly resonates with nobody. Specificity is your superpower. You have to get laser focused.
So how do you do that? How do you make this vague idea of an audience feel real? You build a persona. Think of it like a character sheet for your ideal customer or follower. It's not about a faceless group anymore. It's about picturing one single specific person.
Let's make this concrete. Imagine your target is the first-time homebuyer. Okay, let's flush this out. We know their age, their income, where they live. We know they're into DIY and personal finance blogs. What keeps them up at night? The anxiety of the buying process, the fear of blowing their budget. What's their dream? A cozy home that doesn't break the bank. See? Now when you sit down to write a post, you're not shouting into the wind, you're talking directly to this person. It changes everything.
And once you know who you're talking to, you can finally figure out how to talk to them. So first, just listen. Go to the forums and groups where they hang out. How do they talk to each other? What slang do they use? Second, just ask. Post a story asking your current followers to describe your brand in 3 words. The answers might surprise you. Then, you put it all together. You develop a voice that is still authentically you, but it speaks a language your audience instantly understands.
All right, section 2. We know our people. Now we get to the fun part, making stuff for them. This is all about crafting content that is so good, so magnetic, that it literally stops them in their tracks mid-scroll.
The best content, the stuff that really works, almost always stands on one of these 3 pillars. Number 1, it provides real value. I'm talking tangible tips, how-to guides, things that help people solve a problem. Number 2, it tells a story. We are wired for stories. Take people behind the scenes. Share a customer win. And number 3, it sparks an emotion. It makes them laugh or feel inspired or just plain surprised.
And look, this all starts with your headline. It's the first thing they see. Let's do a quick makeover. On the left, our new spring collection. Okay, it's an announcement. It's boring. But on the right, 5 surprising ways to refresh your home this spring. Ah, see the difference? That's not an announcement, it's a promise. It promises value, it creates curiosity, and it gives someone a real reason to stop and click.
It's also so important to get the balance of your content right. Think about it. If you go to a party and someone only talks about themselves and what they're trying to sell, you're going to walk away, right? Same thing here. The 80-20 rule is your best friend. A full 80% of what you post should be about giving value and building that community. Only 20% should be about the direct sell.
Okay, we know who we're talking to, we know what kind of content to make. Now for section 3, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the algorithm itself. It's time to learn how to play the game and win.
Here is one of the biggest secrets that really isn't a secret at all. Social media platforms want one thing above all else: to keep you on their site for as long as possible. So, if you post a link to a YouTube video on Facebook, you're sending people away. The algorithm doesn't like that, and your reach will suffer. But if you take that same video file and upload it directly to Facebook, that's native content, and your reach will be way, way higher. It's a game changer. Now, even within native content, not everything is created equal. There's a very clear hierarchy. Down at the bottom, with the lowest potential reach, is a simple text-only post. A link is a little better. An image is a big step up. Native videos we just saw is even better. But right at the very top of the pyramid, live video. The platforms push live content like crazy because it drives a ton of real-time engagement and keeps people glued to their screens. Let's talk hashtags. Using them correctly is another way to play the game. But please, don't just guess. Be strategic. Step 1. Just brainstorm some basic keywords for your post. Step 2. Go do some recon. What hashtags are your competitors using? What tags are the people in your target audience using? Step 3. Choose your mix. You want a blend of 10 to 20 super relevant tags that aren't so massive that you'll get lost.
Now, a platform like Instagram will technically let you use up to 30 hashtags on a single post. So you should probably just max that out every time, right? Load it up.
Well, no. Actually, the data shows that more is not better. The sweet spot for getting the best results is somewhere between 10 and 20 highly relevant, well-researched hashtags. The goal is always quality over quantity. Relevance beats volume every single time. And that brings us to our final and, honestly, most important section. Because all of this stuff, the personas, the content pillars, the algorithm hacks, they're all just tools. They serve one ultimate purpose: to turn your passive followers into a real community of devoted fans. So, how do you actually do that? You make people feel seen. Personally welcome new followers. Host live Q&As where they can talk to you directly. And this is huge. Make it a non-negotiable rule to respond to as many comments as you possibly can. That single act shows you're actually listening. And finally, find ways to reward your biggest fans. These simple actions are what transform a page from a monologue into a conversation, into a real community. Which brings us to this final thought. After all the strategies and tactics are said and done, it all comes down to being you. In an ocean of infinite content, your unique story, your perspective, is the only true advantage you have. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. What is the one story that only you can tell your audience? Figure that out, and you'll find all the engagement you could ever want.